everyone, welcome back to the TaxStrong support channel. Today we're diving into a unique tax benefit for Canadians living in specific northern regions, the Northern Residents Tax Deduction. If you've been living in a prescribed zone, you might qualify for a valuable tax deduction. Stick around to learn how this deduction works and how you can make the most of it. What is the Northern Residents Deduction? It's a special tax deduction available to Canadians living in prescribed northern or intermediate zones for at least 6 consecutive months. The goal is to help offset the higher costs of living in remote areas of Canada. This deduction is divided into two parts: residency deduction and travel deduction. Let's go through both, step by step. Residency deduction. To qualify for this part, you need to have lived in either a prescribed northern zone, Zone A, or a prescribed intermediate zone, Zone B, for a continuous period of at least 6 months. If you live in Zone A, you can claim the full deduction amount. If you live in Zone B, you can claim 50% of the deduction. For 2024, the maximum residency deduction is $11 per day if you live in a northern zone and $5.50 per day in an intermediate zone. Now let's talk about how to calculate your residency deduction. There are two parts. One, basic residency amount. This is based on the number of days you lived in a prescribed zone during the year. And additional residency amount. You can claim this if you maintained and lived in a self-contained dwelling in the prescribed zone and no one else is claiming the same basic residency deduction for that period. By self-contained dwelling, we mean a place with its own kitchen, bathroom, and sleeping facilities, like a house, apartment, or mobile home. However, places like bunkhouses, dormitories, or hotel rooms do not count. Even if your employer provided your dwelling rent-free and covered your utilities, you're still eligible for the additional residency deduction. To claim these deductions, you'll need to complete Form T2222. For the residency deduction, fill out Step 2, and for the travel deduction, complete Step 3 and Chart B. Now let's move on to the travel deduction, which covers trips you took for medical or vacational purposes while living in a prescribed zone. This applies to you or an eligible family member who live with you. You'll need to complete Chart A in Form T2222 to allocate your eligible family member's $1,200 standard amount and indicate who lived with you during the trip. But here's where things get interesting. Simplified Northern Residents Travel Deduction. Did you know you can claim your travel deduction without having to collect travel receipts? The CRA has introduced a simplified Northern Residents Travel Deduction using an airfare table that lists the lowest return airfares from over 135 eligible airports in prescribed zones. This allows you to claim the lowest return airfare, or LRA, without the hassle of keeping receipts or getting quotes. Here's how you can use it. 1. Find the table for your travel period, either October to March or April to September. 2. Locate the airport nearest to your residence and use the corresponding amount as your LRA. And 3. Enter this amount into Chart B, Column 5 of Form T2222. But what if you don't want to use the airfare table? No problem. You can still provide your own LRA, but make sure to keep receipts or screenshots showing that the fare you claimed was the lowest available on that day. The CRA is flexible if you bought tickets ahead of time or didn't fly at all. Just be sure to keep your supporting documents. Key takeaways. Use the airfare table for a simplified LRA claim. No need for receipts if you use the table. If you're not using the table, keep receipts or quotes for your lowest economy airfare. The airfare table is updated twice a year to reflect new airfare prices. This tool makes it easier to claim your Northern Residents Travel Deduction and saves time during tax season. That's it for today's video. We've already covered a detailed video on the Northern Residents Deduction. I'll post the link in the description below. We hope this helped guide you to better understand the Northern Residents Deduction and how to take advantage of the simplified Northern Residents Travel Deduction. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more tax tips and updates from TaxStrong. See you next time!